Hi, my name is Goldie and today we're playing Sims 4. Something that I've been wanting to do for a while is play a grandfather raising his grandchild after a family tragedy. So that is what we will be doing in this Let's Play. Our main characters are George Evans and Yael Evans-Levinsky. I created their family that is no longer with us to set up the background story for George and Yael, so let me tell you a bit about them while we are still in cast. Fair warning, their story is going to be a little bit sad for a while. George Evans was a career military man who met his wife, Paulette, on base, where she was working as an engineer. George grew up in Willow Creek while Paulette was raised in San Myshuno after her parents immigrated there from Haiti when she was a little girl. They moved around a lot before George became the commander of the Windenburg Island base, where they raised their only child, Nadege. As stereotypical as it might be, George and Paulette raised their daughter in an authoritarian way. Both of them are perfectionists and expected their daughter to do quote-unquote better than her best. It was a lot of pressure for Nadege, who tried her best but couldn't ever seem to meet her parents' expectations. This caused a lot of mental grief, and she grew up with a lot of anxiety and depression. After graduating high school, she decided to take a gap year and worked on a flower farm in North Windenburg, which is where she found her passion for gardening. It is incredibly therapeutic for her. The owner of the farm was none other than Miriam Levinsky, who took the 19-year-old Nadege under her wing. Miriam was the opposite of Nadege's parents, goofy and laid back. Miriam always knew how to have a good time, and I personally love her quirky glasses that are different for every outfit. During the final months of Nadege's year-long contract with the farm, Miriam's son Zev came home. Zev was a war photojournalist and had just spent the last year in Strangerville, which was being torn apart by a strange disease. Miriam threw a huge homecoming bash for him with all of her friends, family, neighbors, and farm staff. It was there that Zev and Nadege first connected. Several years later, they got married at Miriam's farm in a traditional Jewish ceremony, as Nadege had converted. And while their parents didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things, Paulette and Miriam shared the same taste in sappy romance novels, and George and Miriam bonded over their taste in wine. Juice, as it is in the game. So, despite their differences, they had a lovely time at the reception and gained much respect for each other. And just a few years after that, Yael was born. She was the only grandchild for all of her grandparents, so they doted on her so much. George and Paulette softened and worked hard to reconcile the mistakes they had made with Nadege and repair their relationship with her. The family was happy and settled. George and Paulette retired from the Windenburg Island base and moved up to North Windenburg to be closer to the family. They often helped out at Miriam's farm. Nadege had a good handle on her lifelong anxiety and depression. Zev was given safer assignments that were close to home, and he was working on his other crafts, like painting. And last but not least, Yael was often seen toddling around naked in the garden, with berries smushed around her mouth. Things were good, until they weren't. It was one after another. First Zev, then Miriam, then Patrice, and finally Nadege, until it was only 6-year-old Yael and her grandfather George. Yael turned from a happy-go-lucky kid with tons of imagination to a gloomy child. George didn't know what to do, but he knew he had to be there for her as much as he could. So now our story begins. I've already built a home for George and Yael. So I want to talk about these two areas of Windenburg, the north and the south. So in the south, I'll be building a military base, Veterans Social Hall where George will go meet his Veterans Club, and several of the Evans-Laurent family and friends. The Evans extended family will also have a house in Willows Creek, and Paulette's family, the Laurent family, will have some homes in San Myshuno, tying back to both of their roots before they settled in Windenburg. In North Windenburg, we will be the second generation, Nadej and Zeb's friends, and the Levinsky extended family, along with some community lots and Miriam's farm. So now let's take a look at their house. It is on my favorite lot in the game, which is the Free Spirits house in Windenburg. It's really beautiful. It's a 2-story home that is a 2-bedroom and 1.5 bath. I wanted it to be comfortable and simple, a cozy home that Paulette and George had picked out to retire in while close to their family.
First of all, let's admire this lot that they're on. It's winter, but it's still really beautiful and like spooky and winterish. What I love, my favorite part is this walkway here. You can actually walk across it with your Sims. It's really cool, nice detail, and yeah, I'm just really excited about this. So this is their little simple cottage home that Paulette and George bought when they retired and wanted to move closer to the farm. It's 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. So let's go down to the ground floor. So on the first floor we have when we come into the entrance, we have a little table and coat hanger. I feel like that's really traditional type of feeling. And then you come in and there's a little bookcase and a little TV area. It's not it was ever an important thing for Paulette or George to have a TV. It was more about like having a nice comfy couch to sit on and read and snuggle together. And this is their little desk area. Even though they were both retired, they would still do some work on the side besides helping out with Miriam's farm. And over here we have their little dining area and their kitchen. I left it kind of empty and not super decorated because I want it to evolve, to have like an area for like a Christmas tree and maybe put like a Hanukkah in the window right here, move furniture around, and have it evolve as their personalities evolve, as we get to know them, what kind of skills they're interested in. So I'm not really sure what Yael, she was a very imaginative and creative child, but now she's not really into that. And in Yael's bedroom here, you can tell she's not super comfortable with staying here yet. This is all her furniture from her home, and she still keeps like her toiletries inside her room instead of actually in the bathroom. She's just not really sure and not really comfortable yet. And it's a little bit underfurnished, but we'll get some more decorations and stuff like that once Yael feels more comfortable living here. We might replace this with like an activity table or something more child-orientated. Then upstairs we have like a huge main bathroom that can be used by the whole house. It's just really cozy in here and kind of traditional. It's probably the most luxurious room in the house, to be honest. Over here we have the master bedroom, which I also wanted like very cozy and warm and dark. And this is a little area that Paulette and George would have listened to records to and just talked and spent some cozy, quiet nights and time together. And then over here we're going to put like some skill building activity or something like that. Something for skills right here and here as well. Maybe like an easel or exercise equipment. And then downstairs in the back deck we have just a grill. We might make this larger for like more entertaining and stuff like that. But I'm not sure. I think I'm going to try to get them out, spend some time outside of the lot rather than staying home all the time. So I left the landscaping relatively simple. I just put some wild grass and lavender down here and then a giant willow tree back here where we have the bench. It's on a small hill. Just something really simple, and there's a little pathway that doesn't actually connect. So that's it for today. If you would like to see another part, please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed watching, please subscribe. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.